how to create digital elevation model using a Google Earth Pro image, and I've already chosen an area here around Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya region. Now, the reason I have chosen this area to demonstrate how to create digital elevation model and other surfaces from this platform of Google Earth Pro is because you can foretell the terrain characteristic of this area, that this place where we have Mount Kenya, then that's the place with the highest altitude, and as you move away from the peak of the mountain, then the altitude is reducing. That's why I've chosen this one. If we get wrong results, then we'll be able to judge that the result is wrong. Now, one thing that I want you to know is that as I move my cursor around this mountain, the elevation value here keeps on changing. It tells you that it is recording the altitude or the elevation value. If that is not the case on your side, you'll have to enable the terrain feature. Okay, so ensure that the terrain feature is enabled so that when you move your cursor, it can give you the elevation value. Now, the first thing that I want us to do is create a path. Now, the path that we are going to use, this will be, it's like we are creating the area, the study area that we're interested in. Now, for me, I want to cover this area here. So what I want to do is just click on the add path icon. Then just I can give it a name, Google Path. That's just okay. Then what you want to do is you want to click and then move your cursor along the place that you are interested in. Now, you don't have to follow any format, you just need to ensure you cover your entire study area. And of course, it's always good to expand or just go a bit more than your study area just for some accuracy. So just draw the paths that you want. So once, the reason why we are creating this path from Google Earth Pro is because this is what we are going to use to get the elevation value. Now, it's good that your points covers your study area. You can move this side and just choose. Okay, so there is no any format of creating this path. You just ensure you cover. I think that's okay. That's good. That's good. So once you have created this one, you click OK. And when you click OK, you get the study area, the path that you have gone through in creating the study area. So I want you saved your work, so save place as. There you go. So I've already created a folder for this task. It is a DEM from Google. So that's the folder that I'm working with right now. So let me give it a name, maybe Google Path. Okay, so save your work in KML. We also have the option of saving it in KMZ format, but for this demonstration and for your work, please use KML format. So click on save. Once you have done that, then we want to convert the KML format. We want to convert it into the GPX file format, which then we are going to use it to in our software, whether it is ArcGIS Pro, ArcMath, QGIS, and whichever software you are using. So there is this website called GeoVisualizer. It's a very important and very friendly website. I recommend this website because it simplifies your work. So what we want to do is to convert the KML file into the GPX file. So just go, you want to find the GPS visualizer website stroke elevation. I will link this website, the link to the website, I will attach it in my description section, so make sure you visit there to find the link. So what you want to do is upload the file we have just saved in KML. There you go. So open, and then you can either convert it to plain text or GPX, but for this demonstration purpose we want to use GPX file. That's what we are going to use to create the digital elevation model. So after that, click convert, just give them around 5 seconds. It will have created for you a GPX file that we are going to use in our ArcMap. So once it has generated the GPX file format, click download, and of course put it where you a folder that you can relate well. After that, what you want to do is open your app. Now once you go to your software, I'm using ArcMap. What you want to do, you want to convert the GPX file that you have just downloaded from GPS visualizer. You want to convert it into features so that we can work on it. So you want to choose the conversion tool, then from GPS, because that's where the data is, then GPX2 to feature. That's what we are going to use. Then once you are here, it is very easy to locate your file. I had created a file for this, folder for it. There you go. And here is my GPX file that I downloaded. So, okay. And then when you save it, it's going to save as a shape file, so it's very important. So you can also give it a name. Let's say GPX shape file. Okay. Click save and then click OK. So what it will do, it will add the path that we created in Google Earth Pro into our software, and that's what we are going to use to create our digital elevation model. So of course, giving it some time. Okay. It is still running. There you go. So you can see what we are having now as a shapefile is what we created in Google Earth Pro as path. Now once you have created this path, you can see these are the doors that we created. Now we want to do some interpolation so that we can create that digital elevation model. So for you to do some interpolation, we use partial analyst tool. Then you choose interpolation. Now you can use any type of interpolation as long as you know the merit and the disadvantages of the interpolation technique that you use. But for this demonstration purpose, I will use kriging. So once you click on kriging, I want to use GPS. So the Z value to use is elevation, the one that we created. Okay. Then anything else you can just leave it as default. Then click OK. So as it runs, let's open the table of attribute. Okay, it has already run. But let's see the table of attribute for this point that we have created. You can see there are many details given there, but most important, it is the elevation value that we are interested in, because this, if you don't have elevation value, you cannot create any surface. So When we have it, then it's good to go. Now we have created our digital elevation model, the first one. There you go. So apply some sort of cartographic skills. Okay, so symbology, I want to change that symbology to maybe even that one is yeah, that's I think it's good. Then classes, let me have 10. Okay, so we have created a digital elevation, and you can see that at this point where we are having the red, it's the highest point, that is 4,498 elevation value to 4,833. Okay, I mean 4,833 to 4,998. So as I told you, from the knowledge of how Mount Kenya region is, this is the peak of the mountain. As you move away from the peak, then the elevation reduces, and that's exactly what is happening from this digital elevation that we have created. Now from there we can create some contours. So contours, you use spatial analyst tool still, then you want to go to surfaces, then click on contour. So yeah, the class interval, I will use 100. Okay, base contour, we can have 1,400, since that's we have 1,482 as the smallest elevation value. So base contour, you can have it as 1,400. Okay, then just click run, wait sometimes. There you go, it has created the contours. Again, apply some cartographic skills on symbology and display. So I want to have this color, no, not that one, blue. Okay, then I want also to label the contours. So the use contour, and then the rest just some skills that we need to process. Then there you go, we have our contours. So you can see this is the highest value, that is 48,000. Then the value goes on reducing. Then we can also, when symbolizing the digital elevation model we have created, you can add something called hill shading effect. So if I apply that, then it includes hill shading effect. Now you can see on the bottom right side, this where we are having the hill shading effect. That means this is the place where we have the lowest elevation value. Now of course from this point now you can deal with the 3D analyst tool, but what I would like to do is create a team. Let's create a team so that we see from raster to team, we see how when we create a team how it will look like. Okay, so everything else just leave as default, and we see how the triangulated irregular network will appear. Okay, so if I disable this, then there you go, we have our triangulated irregular network. Then it shows you, of course, again you can apply cartographic skills to symbolize on your map. So Let's try that, how it will appear. I think that's good. So of course it has the shading effect, and it shows you this side. So that's how you create digital elevation models from Google Earth Pro source. So thank you so much, and see you next time.